fire, because that's where it starts. It's starting with fire. Then the Bwakaima ceremony. Then you have more fire. Then you have Toussaint, who sort of lit the spark. Then you have fire. And you have Ogun now takes over.
Is that a specific Ogun, Febe?
That's Ogufelai.
Okay.
He's definitely associated with iron and fire. And the baton is passed on to Dessalines and the others. And then eventually, we now have also Denis, because that part of the Vodou initiation, what they call the Asson, it was supposed to be something that brought people together. Unfortunately, Dessalines didn't live long enough to fulfill, that promise as, it was supposed to have been accomplished. But that tree has been decimated in Haiti.
Oh,
It's been decimated.
it's terrible.
Well, because it's a sacred tree.
Right.
So the Protestants, when they come in, they cut it down.
Ugh.
But the thing is, from an environmental point of view, it's the most dangerous thing they've ever done for Haiti.
Yeah.
Why? Because that tree, when you look at a mapu tree, the trunk is enormous. And the roots spread everywhere. It does two things that are primordial to a mountainous land. It retains the soil and it retains water.
Right.
When you don't have those trees and it rains, the mudslides just roll down onto the towns below. So, yeah, as you're trying to uproot Vodou, but you're also destroying the country.
Right.
Right now, there's a movement to reforest. The Vodou community is taking the lead in trying to reforest Haiti with the little beads.
It's beautiful.
And it's funny, I had to take that journey in order to be able to complete that quilt. Because each one of those tiles means something to me. There's a lot of process. Between the embroidery and the beadwork, there's the process, but there's also the symbolism behind each tile. For example, when Haitians talk about La Guinée, it's not just Guinea, the country.
Right.
It's somewhere in the motherland. Somewhere.
I like
there.
that.
And that's, we call it Haiti, but I didn't want to include the whole island because the Dominican Republic has their own thing going. But I had to have Haiti and the ship, then Anakaona, because we also need to start honoring the spirit. So they must be honored as well. And then there's the endless sea. But that's also part of the prayer. If you know the Vodou prayer, Wanzile o Santa Maria, Wanzile o Santa Maria. It doesn't talk about Santa Maria as, the Virgin. It's Santa Maria, the ship.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it refers to. If they arrived at the time they say they arrived in December in 1492, most likely they would have encountered pods of blue whales. So these are my little whales and porpoises.
Nice.
And that's beadwork and embroidery. This would probably be their last sighting of the coast of Africa. It would have been these forts that slaves were held in. And you see nothing but blue. You have these little openings and you see nothing but the big expanse of sea and blue. And that's how we came in. Packed like sardines. And there's more sea, but the sea, also one of the reasons the beadwork is also rich is because eventually that sea would feed us. And as we arrived, that's us on a plantation, working hard, and now we're going into the crops. The various crops that made Haiti the wealthiest colony of the French crown. Oh, manna from
Yes.
heaven. And we all wear it today. Jeans, indigo. Indigo. They would harvest the indigo, prepare the balls of indigo, and harvest the cotton, ship it to France, and it becomes toile de Nîmes. Eventually it became denim. And that's sugarcane. And the sugarcane, Europe developed a sweet tooth.
Yes.
Oh, they developed a sweet tooth. And then coffee. At some point, coffee from what was called Saint-Domingue, the Haiti, was served at every royal table in Europe. But at some point, we said enough is enough.
Yes.
And that's because they also started importing the Congos and the Igbos. Igbos are rebellious people. Igbos don't do chains. Igbos don't do oppression. No, they don't do bondage. So the Igbos started popping their chains and heading for the mountains. The Congos started also running off. But the Congos had the secrets. They had the secrets to the plants. And those groups of people put together, heading into that mountainous land that is Haiti, was the demise of the French. Because between the poisons and they are able to treat the slaves that were beaten to a pulp, repair the skins, and treat them, people started heading to the mountains and running off. Eventually, what is referred to as the ceremony of Wakaima was more like a convention. Various nations of Africa together for one purpose, and the purpose was to free themselves and free the future generations to come. And in order to do that, they also had to put aside their differences, but they also had to merge their practices, which is why Haitian Vodou is so unique. It's because it's the merger of all of the practices from Benin, from Togo, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Congo, from Sierra Leone. Well, what I'm talking in terms of European names, but back then there were different nations. So which is why when you say the prayer and you're thinking about all the nations between the Senegals and the Lemba, for example, the Kita, we brought them all together and it became what is now Haitian Vodou. With that now, armed with that, now, of course, if you look at Haitian history, you ask yourself, why would Toussaint Louverture bring himself when he knew that nothing good could come out of that? Why would he go to Napoleon when summoned by Napoleon? Why? If he didn't know what he knew. He knew what fate, he absolutely knew. I'm convinced. I have no historical proof, but I'm convinced. Simply because by simple deduction, if you sacrifice yourself for the cause, you now galvanize.
A lot of people say that Toussaint and possibly Dessalines were also dedicated to Ogu. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I think absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know about Toussaint. I'm not sure. Simply because of Toussaint was a diplomat. So, but Dessalines definitely.
Right.
And there's no way he would have really been able to accomplish some of what he accomplished without divine help. And I think each and every one of them was an initiate.